And this was the mistake committed on the part of those who sent this message. And as I told you, sometimes a pious holy man does not understand the intricacies of these conspirators. So that is what started all that was most unfortunate in the history of Islam. But also I remind you once again, as to understand the institution of Khilafat from the institution of Khalifatullah, not otherwise. Without fully understanding the institution of Khalifatullah, you cannot comprehend at all Khalifatul Rasul and his status and his position and his scope of action. Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah was Khalifatullah even in Mecca, when he was a very small minority, and in no way did he wield any authority in Mecca or anywhere in the world. Was he not Khalifatullah?
Yes.
So being Khalifatullah does not depend on your holding political power at all. If this is Khalifatullah, then Khalifatul Rasul is no exception. Khalifatul Rasul is under him, and he takes his form and nature and character, he borrows his nature and character from Khilafatullah, is Allah's Khilafat. So that is how this matter should have been understood, and as you read the Quran, it's so clear. Read the history of Islam. So these things should not have happened. Hazrat Ali could have even extended his bayat to the areas commanded by Muawiyah. So all right, you follow him, because according to the Quran, whoever is in rule, in authority, you do not have a right to rebel against him. So once Hazrat Ali accepted his rule, after that, no Muslim in his territory had a right to rebel against him. But they had a right to migrate and attack from outside if they did not agree with their rule. That is a different story. As long as they remained, the Holy Quran required them to follow this advice that Atiullaha wa Atiur Rasula wa ulil amri minkum. Here ulil amr is different from Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul. Khilafat cannot be different from Atiur Rasul, from the order of Atiur Rasul. How can you say it is Khilafah? Because if فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ not إِلَى Khalifa. La ila al-Khalifa. Which means positively that Allah does not mean here Khalifatul Rasul. Because how can you believe Khalifatul Rasul to be at variance in any way with Rasul or with Allah? So here it is the worldly authority which is mentioned under Ulil Amri Minkum, not the spiritual authority. So what happened there, it was the fault of the people who rebelled against an established authority, against the order of the Quran. But what followed was utter cruelty. Those who committed crime, they were left unpunished, and those who were made dupes of their conspiracies, who were duped by these people, they were punished for the crime which was in fact committed by the people of Kufa. They should have punished and they should have been spared, because they moved in innocence. And anyway, their relationship with Rasulullah would not permit any Muslim to dare to treat them unkindly as they were treated. They could have been confined, no problem. Their rebellion was not that of that nature. They only asked for khilaf with the bay'ah. So the people of the authority could have taken the stance, all right, take bay'ah and return. But as far as the political rule is concerned, all rule will continue. That was a simple problem. It over-exaggerated, and those people was hit at who had no crime who have committed no crime, in fact, in reality. Now, the second part is also in big confusion. This should be very clearly understood. After you understand the principles, then the matter becomes very clear. When Yazid invaded Kufa and thereabout, he was ordered to still the rebellion, to bring the rebellion down, crush the rebellion. But no rebellion took place there. The people of Kufa abandoned their honored guests, and nobody rose in arms. So he should have sent a message home that rebellion is already quelled, and there is no rebellion left at all. A spiritual bay'ah of Imam Hussain does not in any way interfere with the state, your state. So let them leave them alone. There is no interference in the state matters. But there are two things which were wrongly committed. He bore the burden or the brunt of the whole matter on the shoulders of the family of Hazrat Muhammad. And a small party of innocent people, they were surrounded and so cruelly murdered and ill-treated that seldom you see such cruelty perpetrated against anybody. And they were no match anyway, physically. What threat did they offer? No threat could have been caused to this great kingdom of Muawiyah and his children. That was just an imaginary threat which did not exist in reality. If they were left alone, nothing could have happened. They should have surrounded Kufa and remained there in their presence. If they raised their head, they were their subjects. They could have beaten them down, but should have left them alone. But then to require from them to do Bai'at of Muawiyah, that is where they were wrong. They were not subject of Muawiyah, they were in fact foreign visitors from an outside territory. They should have been told to return home. That was the maximum which should have been done. Because they did not come to raise arms themselves. They did not raise arms. Arms were raised by them when they were attacked. So it is wrong to attribute rebellion to Hazrat Imam Hussain and his family. As I have told you, they were left high and dry, abandoned. And they should have been respectfully told, these people are, what should I say, the words are very strong which come to my mind. Leave them alone, they are meaningless people, they have ill-treated you, they have misled you and have nothing to do with them. Return to your home and remain the spiritual leader of the people around and lead them to piety. And then they should have returned or remain in presence in the area, so that if anybody tries to make mischief, then he should be crushed. What right did they have to force them to do Bai'at of Muawiyah? They had no right. Muawiyah, I mean, his son, Yazid, I'm sorry. Yazid who represented Muawiyah. But the general who represented Yazid, he is the main culprit in fact. Some people have defended Yazid to a degree. I don't think he is absolved of all responsibility. Although when the prisoners were presented to him, he is known to have treated them with some respect. But all was done with his command, and some Sunni historians have tried to absolve him of all the responsibility. I do not agree with them at all. It's impossible for his general to have, taken such drastic measures against the family of Rasulullah without his permission, without an understanding from him. So I don't defend his cause at all. But I agree that his instructions might have been over-exaggerated. I agree that his instructions should have been implemented when there was no more need for implementation of those instructions. If a punishment was should have been meted out, it should have been addressed to their own subjects who did this, because they didn't come with any intention of rebellion. They said, you are a spiritual leader, come to us and we'll do bad. That was all the intention.